And hello, Shock fans. This is your beloved soldier of the inverted cross, Rip the Full Blown Freak Show. And if you've watched any of my Titans Return reviews, you'll probably heard me bash the Galvatron figure pretty bad because, normally if a figure sucks, that's one thing. But if a figure's good and has one crappy flaw that could have easily been fixed, that's when I get mad. In Galvatron's case, it was the body was fine, had no problem with it. It's a perfect figure. The head. Why they had to have a stupid little gimmick where he gets like a Halloween mask over his headmaster? Why not just make a Galvatron headmaster? No other character in the line, no other Voyager had that. No other Titans Return figure I can name had really any flaws. The gimmicks worked fine. But for Galvatron, they just screwed it up, just like they did before. The classic Galvatron being deluxe instead of ultra class. But I fixed it. It's okay. I'm not mad now. Here we have my custom Titans Return Galvatron. Yes, I used Combiner Wars Galvatronus' head from the Cyclonus, the Combiner. Here he is with Optimus. He's a pretty good scale. Pretty big Voyager. I also made a piece to fix the cannon. That didn't irk me that much. The freaking head irked me a lot. So, and because, as I'm saying about this figure, the mold, everything looks great on it. I don't really have any problems. They were good enough to actually fill these gaps in the back of his legs with panels. I did pop the little piece on his butt off. I've got it over on the shelf. And give you guys a good look at the head sculpt. It might be a little bit off proportion. I mean, I've heard people say that that's why they didn't use this head. But it was better than the piece of shit they gave us. I am probably going to remove this cockpit off his back at some point so I can just have the, the classic that over his back. And just rig that up a different way. So for the head, I'm going to pop the chest panel open here. And this isn't permanent. I could actually put the shitty one back in, if I was suicidal and, This is what I built from Lego parts. I took this head, opened it up, put a Lego piece inside, put a stem to connect it, built this for bolt to keep it from wobbling around in there. Plenty of room. The head can swivel left and right, which is great. And the way you go about taking the old gimmick out, it's easy. The 2 screws in his shoulder pads. One in each shoulder pad, and then the torso will just separate. Articulation on him, I am going to show it in this arm just because it's a little easier. And the thing I was talking about the cannon is they put the 5 mil port right here instead of right here on the arm where it should have been, or right here on the side where it should have been. Articulation on, like I said, the head on mine can swivel. Articulation in the shoulder, arms forward and back. Shoulders can go all the way up. Double jointed elbows, or bicep swivel, I mean. Double jointed elbows, I think, due to transformation. When you take that piece off on the back, that restricts the waist a bit. Because normally you would have to lift this up, then lift that piece up. By taking that off, you just get free waist range. Legs go all the way up, all the way forward, all the way back. Swivel. Good knee bend. Forward and back on the foot, and a good ankle tilt. So basically, they took a figure that was really good and screwed up the easiest part, his face. And sometimes I have to adjust this head. The piece inside will shift a little bit, but it's still nowhere near as annoying as what Hasbro did. For the arm cannon, I'm going to pop this off and show you guys what I did. So basically, let's set Galvatron aside. I took one of these Lego pieces, this black piece here with the hole in it. I filed the inside of it down to fit around the 5 mil peg. Then I took another piece identical on it and hooked up to it right here. So, because these peg in just fine to 5 mil ports. And basically what I did, and sorry if my camera's not showing up with crap on this. This basically allows, when you peg this in, the cannon to set on the side of his arm as it should. Now I know there is shapeways fixes for this. It just didn't bother me enough to actually go out and buy one. Another cool thing I discovered, and this is like if you for you guys that are super into like effect parts, and these were cheap. I actually had bought these for like a few bucks years ago. The Mini Mates, whatever. My camera's lagging a bit. Ryu and Akuma from the Marvel vs. Capcom figures each came with the Hadoken and the whatever Akuma's is called. And these, now they do droop a little bit, but you can peg them into the end of his cannon. And you can, if you balance it right, it won't sag. Like if you bring it forward a little bit, and like there's a way, like I had it working, but you can actually make this a good cannon effect piece. Would I suggest this figure? If you're going to do the customization mod, if you're going to buy the shapeways, upgrade for the head and the arm, yes. As is, unless you're buying this figure unless you're giving this figure for free, no. No. I bought this figure with the full intention of customizing it and not reviewing it until I customized it. I can't forgive. It's kind of the Arachnid from Transformers Prime. I couldn't forgive how they screwed up such an easy Transformer. They didn't have to make her the helicopter. They could have made her the bug chick. It would have been much easier. But no, they decided to screw that up. And that even more so I can get because they wanted to give it an alt mode of a helicopter. This didn't have to be this way. They didn't have to screw up his head. I mean, had they not released the Combiner Wars Cyclonus, I would have been screwed on actually having a head for him. Unless I bought Shapeways. And I like this head much better. This is actually probably one of my favorite Times Returns figures. And now that I fixed the head on it, just because I like Galvatron and Megatron. They're two of my favorite characters. Even though, they're technically, or most of the time, they're the same guy. It just looks awesome. It's a big Galvatron. Detail is good on him. The paint's good. Everything looks good. It was just the head. So, I'll stop ranting, and I will say, get one if you're going to upgrade it. If you're going to customize it and give it a proper head. Don't buy the joke of a kid in a Halloween mask, Galvatron they did. Make sure you do Galvatron proper justice if you want a good G1 Galvatron in your collection. If you're not going to customize it, save your money for stuff like Trigger Happy, Astro Train, all the Titans Return stuff I reviewed, the Soundwave, Six Shot, actual good figures. When maybe they'll release this with a proper head one day. Who knows? Maybe they'll realize I screwed it up and they'll just use this mold again without the gimmick, a retool or something. I don't know, but yeah, this is good with the head. I love it. One of my favorite Voyager class figures that I own. So until next time, this has been your beloved Soldier of the Inverted Cross, Rip the Full Blown Freak Show, signing off. Farewell.